We've been talking about the FHA loan. What are some of the success strategies? When could somebody use it to really amplify either their buying power or their long-term, financial situation?
Yeah, well, the basic form I would say is just somebody wanting to get in a position to own a home, and FHA might be their best option to simply get the property, move in, and be able to refinance down the road. But a true strategy where somebody could leverage an FHA product versus a conventional would be somebody who is maybe a first-time landlord, someone wanting to buy a duplex to begin earning rental income. As long as they move in and occupy one of the units themselves, they do have to also remain living there for 1 year. But after that 1 year, they have the ability to keep that property, keep the duplex, buy another duplex, could be bigger, better, nicer duplex, or maybe they want to go and have a single family home. They can keep that FHA loan on that duplex and then turn that into an investment property where now they're getting 2 rental incomes per month that they can then leverage even further and use to qualify for their next loan, whether that be a bigger, better duplex or a single family home.
And do they have to move out? Like if you want to include both incomes, toward your, qualifying for your next loan, does that mean you got to be homeless for a little while, or how does that work?
It does not mean you need to move out or find somewhere else to live or rent a moving van for a couple of months. Not anything like that.
In a van down by the river.
So if somebody, let's say somebody wants to buy a single family home, they're currently living in the duplex that they own, they do not have to move out of the duplex for that future income to be used. Part of the process for buying their next home will be having an appraiser evaluate that unit that they are living in and see what would be a fair market rental value for when they move out and when they look to rent that out. That appraiser's value for that monthly rent can then be used as income, so now they have the 2-unit income on that duplex that is being built in to their next purchase.
That is really a great way to use the FHA for a wealth strategy. Now, when they buy their second property, can that also be FHA, or can you only have it on one home?
It could be used in FHA, so long as they have refinanced before they move out. They refinanced that FHA on the duplex into a conventional loan. They would not be able to keep that FHA loan on the duplex and then purchase the next property with an FHA loan. You can only have one active FHA loan at a time in almost all scenarios. There are small caveats to that, but by all intents and purposes, you can only have one FHA loan at a time.
So what if you're a married couple and the first loan was in one person's name? Even when you were married, can the second person get one in their name? How does that work?
It's possible, yes. However, it's tricky because FHA loans, similar to a spousal debts, always have to be included. Okay. So a conventional loan, one spouse can buy a home and not include anything from the other spouse whatsoever. No income, no credit, no debts. On an FHA loan, you have to include the spousal debt, so the monthly payments to items on their credit report, that has to be included in the application process. So by looking to do it individually and not using that spouse's income, but having the negative taking on the debt, it might mean someone.
So like they had like huge, like a student loan. Does student loans count in FHA?
They do, yeah. Even if they're deferred, there still have to be.
So they had a huge student loans, but they didn't have, but then that's really going to throw your numbers out of whack.
Yeah, not to say it's not realistic, but there's also not a need for it to be a first-time buyer for an FHA loan. So it not make sense, but it would be unlikely that would make sense.